breaking a lot of glass ceilings, a woman-led enterprise, and one of the first new age businesses to actually be profitable before hitting the street. So it's a 5,350 crore IPO, 630 crores of which is fresh issue, rest is an offer for sale, some from the promoters, not too much by terms of dilution. So the derived market cap is close to around that 53,205 crores. What does Nykaa do? Was started in 2012 by Falguni Nair, derived from the Sanskrit word Nykaa, or actress, and sells beauty and personal care and more recently fashion products as well. Most of it online, but launched physical stores as well. As of now, they have 80 physical stores in 40 cities. How do the numbers stack up for them? If you take a look at the revenues, they've grown at around 48% compounding over the last 3 years, 2,440 crores. The EBITDA margins have improved. The latest numbers even better, and here's where the big positivity is. They are profitable. 62 crores is what they turned into profits, and they believe that this will sustain going ahead as well. So what are the triggers for them? The first one, of course, is them having launched fashion. 1.2% was the share in gross merchandise value. That is now turned to 20%, so that increasing will be the big trigger. Secondly, online penetration of fashion is just around, or beauty market is just around 8%. That gives them a headroom, and a shift from unorganized as well, which is around 70%, gives them some headroom as well. Secondly, we have men's grooming, which is one of the fastest growing markets out there, and 7.5% of their revenue is generated from their own brands. If that increases in contribution, that aids their margins too. What is the worry? The biggest worry is competition from big online platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, Paytm Mall, and vertical online platforms as well, Myntra, Purple, and MyGlam. All of them are ramping up the beauty quotient. The big question: how much does one pay for it? It is profitable. You value it at EV to sales, and 10 times is what they are commanding. Zomato, for instance, is commanding 13 times for the same multiple. But remember, Nykaa is profit making, but over the last 18 months, their valuation has increased from $1.2 billion to $7.4 billion.
Okay, so the bottom line is, don't ever underestimate how much makeup the women in your house can buy, right?
We're not.
$7.4 billion valuation. Look at that. Just by buying lipstick. All right, but let's find out whether you should subscribe, you should buy post-listing. There's so much frenzy. As we told you, 174 anchor investors put their hat in this ring. Siddharth Khemka, the head retail research at Motilal Oswal Financial Services, and Abneesh Roy, the executive director institutional equities at Edelweiss Securities, joins us now. Siddharth, I want to start with you first, because I read a very interesting report that you guys put out yesterday, where you spoke about the online penetration being really low, and Mangalam was also stating that point. It's just 9% in the beauty industry online. What kind of scope do you see here, and what is your recommendation on Nykaa? Subscribe or avoid?
Yeah, a very good morning to you and to all the viewers. So as we were discussing, the online penetration, especially for the beauty segment, has been pretty low. And one of the biggest reason has been that the fake or spurious products that people end up with when they are buying online. So Nykaa has taken two steps. One is they are more inventory-led model, and two, they have also their in-house brands. So combined with these two, they are able to offer authentic, genuine products, which the customer then likes. Post-pandemic, we have seen the consumer behavior changing drastically. They have been forced to procure a lot of things online, and that has only made online buying of lot of products acceptable as a habit, as a consumer preference choice. So we believe that this segment, the online penetration, could continue to grow at a significant pace going forward, and that combined with the smartphones, the internet penetration is only going to help a niche player like Nykaa. So overall, our view on Nykaa is subscribe rating for the IPO.
Gentlemen, good morning. Abneesh, could you talk to us about valuations and where do sort of similar kind of companies trade at in other markets?
Yeah, definitely. This is seeing very high interest. We have seen the anchor investor list. When we speak to FMCG companies, we have seen very good feedback on Nykaa as a platform. And Nykaa has got 35% market share. If I see the two businesses, I'll be much more positive structurally on the beauty and personal care. There they have a right to win. But yes, in any platform, once you get a very good footfall and audience, it does make a lot of sense to also diversify. So fashion should grow faster in the near term. But longer term, I do continue to expect beauty and personal care to do far better. Also, I would expect Nykaa to remain aggressive on M&A. Last few years and last few months also, they have been on the M&A spree. And being such a cash-rich company, I will expect that they will have a lot of firepower to acquire brands in the deep. So that will again add a lot of growth potential for Nykaa from a medium long-term perspective.
Right.
You did highlight the male grooming and private label.
Yeah.
Yes, what we see is e-commerce company get very high valuation. Already seen Zomato, etc., and then Policy Bazaar. So these kind of companies are not historically seen on EV EBITDA or PE multiple because currently those are depressed. So I would say that being India, anyway, consumer companies, online companies will get a huge premium. But medium long term, I think the potential is extremely good. Yes, there are risks. HUL is getting very aggressive on their own platform. Reliance is also having big plans. I would expect Tata's also to be aggressive here, apart from Amazon and Flipkart. So there are some risks also. So I would expect Nykaa to focus more on the beauty and personal care rather than on the fashion from a longer term perspective.
Okay, Abneesh, but the stock will list in the next couple of weeks or so. And then on a steady state basis, what kind of a valuation will you give it? I'm just taking a look at the trailing basis. It makes no sense, right? Because it'll be at 1,000 times PE. On an EV upon a sales, it'll be at 20 times. EV upon EBITDA will be more than 300 times. But on a steady state basis, what should it trade at? I think the multiple you were talking about is EV upon sales. So what should that multiple be? Rough range.
So currently, we have no coverage on this and we don't have forward numbers. So I don't think I can comment on the valuation.
All right. Siddharth, what about you? Do you have a rough multiple that you would like to give it?
So, Nigel, if you look at the current valuations, and as you rightly said, we are looking at trailing numbers, but look at the growth rate. And just if I look at the rough cut numbers, I think the current multiple that market is subscribing about 15, 16 times EV to sales on a forward basis, that is something which I think we would be comfortable with.
Okay, so both of you optimistic on Nykaa, but I just want to highlight what the biggest risk is for the business. Abneesh, according to you, of course, Mangalam was telling us about the competitors, etc. But do you think they have enough reach at the moment? Because, Nykaa has been in the business for 7 years. It has the first mover advantage as well. It has created a huge brand value for itself. Don't you think it's going to take a lot of time for these newer players like MyGlam, etc., or even a larger portal like Amazon to penetrate into the beauty market? In that sense, do you think it's not a very big concern?
So one is Nykaa has got currently around 35% market share on the online beauty and personal care. I would say the risk from Hindustan Unilever or a very large retailer like a Reliance or even Tata's, I think that's a far bigger risk than the names which you highlighted, because yes, those are very new names, very small names. So if you see, HUL completely dominates the mass end of BPC. Plus, working on multiple analytics and these kind of opportunities. Plus, they already have the database reach and distribution available. So yes, HUL, Reliance are bigger risk, but from smaller players, I think risk is low. But on fashion side, there is much more competition. So within BPC, Nykaa has to watch out for HUL, Reliance, and Tata. And fashion, I think, more will be how do you get more synergy rather than making it very big.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Abneesh, as well as Siddharth, for stopping by and giving us your view on this much-awaited IPO. And Sonia, you're not going to be alone. All of us are going to be tracking this maybe a little bit more closely than what you'll be tracking it. You could have been a customer all along, but now, in fact, the financials are going to speak for themselves. So
they're into fashion as well, by the way, right? So don't forget that angle. A lot of clothes coming through.
They're into a lot of stuff. I was discussing with Prashant the other day. You can get your bathroom cleaners and all as well.
Sanitary.
I mean, I was surprised. I didn't know that, but interesting business model nonetheless.
Oh, absolutely. They've evolved with the times. During the pandemic, they sort of shifted their business model.
And they grew in a pandemic year. In FY21, the revenues grew in comparison to FY20. I found that quite, that shows the kind of niche that they have, or the kind of aggression that they have to grow in a pandemic year.
Absolutely. Who was wearing lipsticks during a pandemic though? All right. Let's take a quick break. On that note, Mitesh Thakkar and Sudarshan Sukhani are joining in just minutes from now to give us some technical trades.
The world around us